Jake Simmons had lived in a dozen cities, but nothing felt like home. That changed when he stumbled upon a listing for an apartment in downtown Chicago, beautiful brownstone, low rent, and oddly no waiting list. The landlord was an old man named Mr. Kellerman, with a voice like a dusty record. He barely looked up as Jake signed the papers. "Once you're in," he mumbled, "stay aware. Time doesn't behave the same inside." Jake chuckled. "What, you mean the neighbors party too loud?" Kellerman didn't laugh. He just handed over the key and turned away. The place was beautiful, old oak floors, vintage glass light fixtures, and a strangely perfect grandfather clock in the hallway that ticked without sound. The air had a crisp stillness, as if it had been sealed off for years. Jake unpacked, popped open a beer, and set his phone alarm for 30 minutes, enough time to relax before heading out to grab dinner. He blinked. The room was dark. The beer was warm in his hand. He looked at his phone. 3 days had passed. Panic. Confusion. He checked everything. His calendar. Missed calls. Text messages, friends wondering where he had disappeared. He looked in the mirror and staggered back. His beard was longer, maybe 4 or 5 days' worth of growth. There was a bruise on his neck. Purple and sick-looking. He didn't remember getting it. He tore through the apartment searching for answers. In the kitchen, he found a note stuck to the fridge door. The paper was old, slightly yellowed at the edges. It was written in his own handwriting. "Stop staying here. You won't escape again." He stared at it, heart pounding. He didn't remember writing it. His hands trembled. What was this place? He left the apartment that night. Stayed at a hotel. But by morning, he was back. He didn't remember checking out. Didn't remember walking. But there he was, sitting in the same chair, a fresh cup of coffee on the table that he didn't brew. And the grandfather clock's hands spun in lazy, mocking circles. Jake became obsessed. He set up cameras. Timers. Kept journals. He forced himself to stay awake for 48 hours straight. But the moment he dozed off, time was gone. Once, he blinked and it was winter. Snow layered the windows. The heat had been turned on. Someone, maybe him, had placed holiday decorations across the apartment. Another time, he found his closet filled with unfamiliar clothes. Women's coats. A child's toy. The cameras? Useless. Just static. But then something worse began. He started hearing voices. Muffled, behind the walls. Whispers in the vents. Scratching under the floorboards. And every time he tried to leave, something stopped him. A door wouldn't open. The street outside was gone, replaced by endless hallways. On his bathroom mirror one morning, a message was scrawled in condensation. "We've done this before. You always come back." Jake screamed. Tore the place apart. Behind the grandfather clock, he found a hidden panel. Inside was a photograph, faded and warped. It showed him. Standing at the window. Smiling. But the date on the back said, March 7, 1996. Jake was born in 1991. The apartment didn't just distort time. It fed on it. Jake was no longer sure what day it was. What year? He'd wake up in the same moment twice, then lose entire weeks. Sometimes the walls whispered his name. Other times, they begged for help. One night, he discovered a trapdoor beneath the hallway rug. Inside, a staircase spiraled downward, impossible, given the building's foundation. He descended. The air thickened. The clocks on the walls down there ticked in reverse. In a chamber below, dozens of objects floated mid-air. Phones. Shoes. Watches. Toothbrushes. All suspended in frozen moments. At the center was a chair. And in that chair sat, himself. Older. Beard down to his chest. Skin like parchment. Lips cracked and whispering nonsense. Jake stepped back, horrified. The older version of him looked up, eyes glazed with centuries. "You never listen," the old man croaked. "You keep coming back. The place remembers. The place wins." Jake ran. Climbed. Screamed. But the door was gone. The windows were bricked up. He woke up in the same chair. New clothes. Shaved face. As if the cycle had reset. On the fridge. "Stop staying here. You won't escape again." And far away, behind the walls, the apartment ticked. Not like a clock. But like teeth.